Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a fascinating story from the early days of the internet, a tale of a hacker turned bank robber who shocked the world with his audacious heists. Grab your popcorn and get ready for the incredible saga of Vladimir Levin, the first online bank robber. Let's get into it. In July 1994, St. Petersburg, Russia, a software engineer named Vladimir Levin found himself moonlighting as a bank robber. Over a mere 4 months, Levin led a highly organized criminal gang and stole a staggering $10.7 million through 40 separate heists. The best part? He pulled off these crimes from the comfort of his home, thousands of miles away. Before we dive in, a big thank you to our sponsor, Stonefly. They're leaders in high-performance, secure data storage, hyper-converged, backup and disaster recovery solutions. Levin, a 30-year-old software engineer, was doing well in his career. However, the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 hit him hard financially. Desperate for money, he turned to crime, targeting Citibank, of the world's largest banks. Gaining access to Citibank's network, Levin could initiate unauthorized transfers to any account he chose. Aware of the risks, Levin took several precautions. He knew the Russian constitution prevented extradition, which meant he could evade US authorities if they could even identify him. After weeks of scoping out Citibank's network, Levin and a friend hatched a plan. The friend set up a bank account in Finland to receive the stolen funds, withdrew the money, and flew back to Russia. Levin then logged into Citibank's cash management system and initiated a $400,000 transfer. The money was withdrawn in Finland without raising any alarms. The simplicity of the operation led Levin to plan even more heists. However, this particular transaction triggered an alert in New York City. Citibank noticed but couldn't stop the transfer in time. The transaction was logged, and an alert prompted Citibank to contact the FBI. A search for Levin began. So how did Levin get into Citibank's network? Back in the early days of the internet, there were several competing networks. One was Telenet, later renamed Sprintnet. An online magazine called Frack published hacking techniques and server lists. 2 Russian hackers noticed Citibank's systems and began attempting access. Most connections were blocked or password protected, but persistence paid off. One day, a Citibank employee left a system logged in, revealing login details in plain text. The hackers accessed multiple Citibank computers, mapping out the network. One hacker, Buckazoid, discovered a computer used for money transfers. Although this computer logged every action, Buckazoid chose not to use it directly and instead informed Levin of the system's details. Levin eagerly paid Buckazoid $100 for the connection instructions. Buckazoid and his associate then stopped accessing Citibank's network. With the first $400,000 transfer successful, Levin's friend introduced him to a local mafia-style gang, which Levin employed as money mules for future transfers. Levin targeted countries like Uruguay, Indonesia, Colombia, and Canada, stealing nearly $5 million in just a few weeks. Citibank, panicked but silent to avoid customer loss, struggled to contain the breaches. Levin's next attempt in Argentina was caught immediately when Citibank detected the transaction and froze the account. The mule fled back to Russia. Undeterred, Levin arranged for Evgeny Korolkov to travel to San Francisco with his wife. Korolkov had to return to Russia, leaving his wife to collect the funds. The FBI arrested her during the withdrawal attempt and convinced Korolkov to cooperate. Using wiretaps, the FBI tricked Levin into confessing his crimes over the phone. However, with no extradition agreement between the US and Russia, Levin remained elusive. He then transferred $1.5 million to a Dutch bank. Dutch police arrested Vladimir Veranin, who agreed to cooperate and became a key figure in the investigation. Although Levin continued his attempts, Citibank and the FBI thwarted his efforts. Meanwhile, Russian police monitored Levin's gang and tipped off the FBI when Levin traveled to London for a computer fair. British police arrested him at the airport. While Levin was in Brixton prison, Russian authorities arrested his associates and seized their computers, including those from his business. Russia eventually allowed an FBI forensics expert to investigate the seized computers, which provided undeniable evidence against Levin. After 30 months in UK jails, Levin was extradited to the US, pled guilty, and admitted to all charges. Of the $10.7 million stolen, only $400,000 was recovered. Levin was sentenced to 3 years in prison and ordered to pay $240,000 in restitution. And that wraps up our story on Vladimir Levin, the world's first online bank robber. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more thrilling stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.